What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the OFF ADHD podcast. This is episode 16. I filmed episode 16 like 3 months ago, but I was never able to post it, and I was going to get suspended if I posted it. So that's why there hasn't been a podcast on this channel in like 3 months. I'm trying to become more consistent with this, but honestly, I feel like my life has been so overly complicated that I don't know how to express it fully. I'll just sum up everything that's happened since the last podcast. I'm about halfway through my production of my first full-length documentary, which I talked about as the entire subject in the last podcast. It was the title. It'll be up here if you guys haven't seen it. I have started a short film, and actually, I can't even say I started a short film because it's almost done. I just have to do the voiceover parts and edit it. It'll be out by the end of the summer. It's something very unique that has never been done before in a short film, so I'm very glad I can showcase it in my own way. So I've been working on those two things quite a bit, but the thing that's taking the most of my time is attempting to work with Prime, because I started a series on TikTok. I make a TikTok, at least one TikTok every single day, working with Prime, or attempting to work with Prime. And then the other thing is drop 3 of Seek Positive, or the W collection, or the summer drop. I think I'm just going to settle on calling it the summer drop. I have one more design to get finalized, and then it is done. And then I have shirts coming in the mail. I have so much work over the next week that is so crazy. And honestly, I can't even say week. The rest of this month, the next month in front of me is a crazy month, and I'm so hyped to be able to do it. But everything is just like falling into fruition in a different way than I kind of ever expected. That seems so weird to say like out loud because I've thought of it a lot, but it kind of feels like everything that's meant to be is just falling into my lap, and I love that so much. And I think I've briefly talked about this before, but there's so much of me that just believes that everything will work out. And I recently got into I don't even want to call it an argument. It was just something, it was like a heated conversation. I don't even want to say heated. It was just like a conversation I had on stream with some yelling in it. I want to do that right now. Like, there's so many other things I can do. Like, I have the whole rest of my life to find a female. Like, the right person will come to me at the right time. But it's like, I don't have the whole rest of my life to work.
Yes, you do. You're literally 15, dude. Okay.
Do I look like I want to retire at 75? No, that shit sounds so boring. I gotta grind now to play later.
I'm telling you, you're literally with your plan right now, you want to retire by like 40, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be bored, and you're gonna have a midlife crisis.
And then I'm gonna start doing shit again. But it's like I'm gonna have like through this path, I'm gonna have so much fucking money when
it works out.
It's not if, it's when. I can't wait to come back to the stream when all this happens. Like,
no, but like you can't say if it's when literally everything is working against you. Your TikTok's getting banned.
Listen, Zane. Listen.
I'm talking. Shut your fucking mouth. Your website didn't work. You got a brain bleed concussion. Everything has been working against you. And it's just a matter of time until it all catches up. And maybe it will work out. And that would be fucking sick. But you have to have a backup plan instead of just being like...
Fuck the backup plan!
No, instead of just being like, I'm gonna get rich and be all this. And then you're gonna be freaking a 25-year-old in college still living in your mom's house. So it's like...
I'm not going to college. Fuck college.
Okay.
I'm not going to college.
You don't have to go to college. But if this doesn't work out, then McDonald's.
No.
If you don't go to college and this doesn't work out, McDonald's. Or photography. That's the only way I see you getting out of it if it doesn't work out.
Listen.
It's not the fact that all of these things that are working against me are going to set me back. It's what needs to catch up is the fact that I'm relentless to all the things putting me back. That I keep working through all these things and I still figure out other ways. Like my website didn't work, so I stayed up, spent an hour and a half of my life. That hour and a half had over $1,000 behind it. Like my ROI there. Like I traded an hour and a half for over $1,000. That's just net. That's not gross. Gross was probably only like $200. And then I put that back into the videos to use. Like I bought food, I bought tickets. I did cool shit with that money and reinvested it. Part of that went to my new camera. And I just didn't put enough time in to drop two's whole thing because I was in the hospital. And I feel like...
Okay, how much money have you put in your videos to see the results that are not, like, what you actually want?
What do you mean?
Like with the views or whatever.
I don't really set goals behind views.
Yeah, but you put so much work into, like, get nothing for it. Except, like, I guess...
Every company...
Hang on. Time out. I guess I understand your point where you're just trying to make people put a smile on people's faces.
Yeah.
So I get that. Never mind.
So I'm getting that. And if they smile enough, they end up going to the website and checking something out. But really with YouTube, it's all a game of how hard you can stay persistent on what you're doing, even when no one is watching you. Like, there's very strategic things with YouTube, and I understand a lot of these things, but I don't apply them, and I apply them for the reason of it wouldn't make me happy. Like, I've tried those things, and it worked slightly, but I sensed myself getting unhappy from it. And I feel like a lot of the time you have to figure out what you don't want to do and work backwards. Like, I know I don't want to go to college because I don't want to end up... Like, I don't want to have to take out a student loan and absolutely fuck my life.
Fast enough, Bryden will pay him back.
Shut up, Zane.
Take your student loan out right now.
Shut up, Zane. I don't want to go to college because I don't want to invest 4 to 8 years of my life into something that won't have that high of an ROI. A college diploma doesn't really mean anything currently. And
currently, what are you on? Like right now, it doesn't mean anything because you're in fucking high school.
no, period. If you have a college degree, not many, like, think about this. Yes, we're in a shortage of workers, but how many, I don't want to trade my time for money. That's how you get caught in the rat race. That's how you don't become rich.
You literally just explained a job.
Yeah.
What? Wait,
Listen.
Time out. You explained a job and said, I don't want to do that. That is the laziest shit I have ever heard.
No, listen. That's how you get stuck in what, like when you think of the American dream, what do you think of? White picket fence, big house,
No.
family.
No. I don't know. American dream is more like doing something you love and then being fine with it. But freaking, you have to have work ethic, and work is work. It's not supposed to be fun. And I understand that when you're doing something you love, it doesn't feel like work. But you still
That's exactly what I want to do.
But once you do something over and over again, you're still going to get bored of it. Like, no matter what.
Not when it's a new experience, like videos. Like, editing a video is the same thing over and over. But the experience that I went through to make that video is completely different in each video.
How much time do you spend editing?
It's actually gone up recently.
Yeah.
It's probably about 8 hours of video now.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
I love it. I love
sorry,
it.
that is just horrible. I cannot sit and stare at a computer screen for 8 hours.
I'm about to have to do that tomorrow and part of tonight.
I'd rather go and actually do manual labor with my hands.
That's the shit I don't want to do, though.
Not like back-breaking, but like go
I would-
out and experience something instead of sitting at a computer.
But listen, I experienced something filming the video. So I already had that experience.
Okay.
I just
but
have to
it's
scoop
not
up
like
the
you're
dirty stuff after.
experiencing something. You just filmed what you were already doing because you're a kid in high school going on a track meet. Like that's everyone. Most like everyone does that.
Not to the degree that I'm doing it. They're not spending $3,000 on a camera, having someone walk around and film them.
But literally, that is only so you can film your experience. I'm willing to bet 90% of the world does the same shit that we do, like as a friend group.
Oh.
As a friend group and doesn't film it. So
Yeah, but
yeah.
for the 10% that don't do it,
they don't watch your videos though. Like the 10%.
they will soon when it all works out. Like I'm telling you, when you bet on yourself, when you have this absolutely delusional like feeling and belief in yourself that everything is going to work, everything will work out. And I'm telling you, Zane, it will all work out. Someday, all of this shit will work out.
You literally just like ruined your argument when you said delusional. Like
yeah,
ruined
I
your
know I'm
whole
delusional.
argument.
I know I'm delusional. I know I'm delusional currently. I am so delusional to this work that I'm doing. But I don't want to do all this mindless shit. I don't want to have a stupid boss. Like, I never want to be hired.
Then be your own boss. Start your own company.
That's what I'm doing.
No,
that's what I'm doing.
That is not what you were doing.
What is Seek Positive then? Clothing and filming videos for people.
It's a brand, not a company. You have no employees. You need to have a freaking employee for it to be a company.
Because I just started, Zane.
Matthew, you've been going at this part for like a good year and a half. Am I wrong? That is not just started.
Yes. But when you think about a year and a half and...
A year and a half, and then it took you 6 months to launch a brand. That takes you another 2 months.
Because I don't want to fuck it up.
That's facts, but still, you're just, like, if it doesn't work out, then you wasted a year and a half.
I got experiences that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. How many other high schoolers do you know that are going to be able to say, I started a brand?
That didn't work out as a 14-year-old boy. If it doesn't work out, then that's what
There's no
happens.
if. There's no if.
There is an if.
No, there is no if. There's no if in my mind. That's the delusional part. And I understand that. There is no if in my mind. It is one plan and one plan only. Because when you have a plan B and things get hard in your plan A, you give up on plan A. Then you live your life sad. I don't want to be on my deathbed and die with dreams. I want to be on my deathbed and live with memories.
I'm not saying that you have to have a plan B. I'm just saying...
You told me I have to have a plan B 15 minutes ago.
No, that is not what I said. I said...
Clip it, chat. Clip it.
You literally have 3 people in your stream.
Clip it. 5. Clip it, chat.
5.
Listen to me. Clip it. These are 5 people helping me get closer to my dreams, eh? I never said you didn't help. I'm saying these are 5 other people helping.
I'm at the point, though, where it's like, if this doesn't work out, you're going to end up like... Never mind. I can't say that on stream.
I'm going to end up an incel.
No, I'm not saying that. But freaking, like, if your company doesn't work out, and you have very, depression, like, seasonal depression,
yeah.
am I wrong?
Yeah.
So if your company is not working out the way that you want it,
I'm going to end up depressed.
yeah, you're going to end up depressed. And I'm not saying that you have to have a plan B, because I understand your point. Plan B is freaking, if you have a plan B.
Plan B is for pussies.
Plan B, if you have a plan B, then you're not sticking to your plan A. I understand that. But also, you have to be prepared for the worst. Okay, listen to this.
Okay, listen to this. humans are habitable creatures, correct?
Yeah.
And when you connect the neural path in your brain that something can happen, it will happen. Think about the times your manifestation has worked. Like, I had experience with this yesterday. I put it in my mind that I could PR in my race, and I PR'd. Like, I had the thought that I could do it.
Okay, that's not manifestation though.
I took a snap, and I just saved it in my memories. I didn't send it to anyone. And I said, POV, I'm about to PR. And I thought of like what the feel. You really have to engulf yourself in the feeling for manifestation to work, though. Like, I sound so crazy right now, and I understand that. But when you imagine what the version of yourself that has achieved all of your dreams and goals looks like, feels like, talks like, their day-to-day routine, where they are, and you start doing those things and you have a vision on where you're going, all of those things will fall into place. You just have to have trust.
Trust in what?
In yourself. You have to have trust in yourself. You have to believe in yourself for it to all work out. And when you start betting on yourself,
A lot of things that you're trusting in are not you though. You're
Well,
trusting in a company to push out your designs. You're trusting in YouTube to not fuck you over. You're trusting in TikTok not to fuck you over, which both of them have done, and so is your website.
my website was my fault. I didn't set it up correctly.
No, but your website is also fucking you over because you're paying way too much for what. Yeah, I think you need to change that. Well, that's my opinion. The website thing.
I'm working on that. You ready? Look at this. You ready?
I already understand that you're working on that. Yeah, you already told me about that. Yeah.
So I got that, and then I'm getting away from the company that I'm working with currently, because of what they just fucked me over. But I have half of my designs through them. After drop 3, I'm not using them again. I'm printing the stuff myself. And chat's hearing this as I've briefly told Zane about this because I haven't had like a full idea on it, but I fully have my idea now. Drop 4 is going to be completely made by me, and it's going to be a lot higher quality, and the prices are going to be better because I will not personally be fucked over myself on what this company has been being built on. And I feel like for something to really be sustainable, you have to invest a lot of time. And the way I think about it is like a lot of people don't see it as this, and I mean rightfully so. Like, it just looks like I'm buying a whole bunch of electronics and shit that don't really mean anything. But I don't know if I told you about this. I got booked for 2 weddings.
No.
I didn't.
You didn't tell me that. I think. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's all I'm gonna say about this, and then I'm done arguing. I think you have a better chance in a career as a photographer or a videographer.
That's part of Seek Positive.
Not as a YouTuber, and you could do both. But I see you blowing up more as a photographer and a videographer than YouTube because everyone tries to YouTube.
Yeah, everyone tries YouTube. But okay, I have a belief in myself in YouTube, and I'm using YouTube as a lead. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
how many years have you done YouTube already?
like 5.
How many years have you been like actually done stuff for photography?
Like
No, like real gigs,
like real gigs.
Yeah.
The past 6 months.
And you already have more of like.
But I gained
you
all.
already earned more.
I gained all my.
You already have a brand. You already have so much more. I'm just saying, photography is the way to go in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's how you would get rich in my thought process.
I do YouTube for fun. That's what keeps me entertained. And through that.
Yeah, but there's gonna be a point where you're not gonna be able to do YouTube because you're taking photography gigs and doing a whole bunch of this crap.
And then that's when
instead of editing videos, you're gonna be editing like
client videos
and like, yeah, and then videos for your actual website that you can't post on YouTube because it's not gonna be what you want to post on YouTube.
This is this is where I get into my plan that I haven't talked about at all on stream. I really thought all this out. Like, you know how I overthink things? I overthink about this shit all the time.
That's not good. Oh, because, okay, here's what I'm thinking. You know how when you think about a relationship with someone, that you, like, make it to where it'd be perfect and whatever, and
And
you
you
get into that relationship and
and
then
it's not like-
it's not what you want. You are trying to fill a hole with money or YouTube, and you're talking about how you're going to be crazy rich. You're trying to fill a hole in your soul that can't be filled by money or all this crap. Everyone has done it. Everyone has tried to get rich and famous, and they think money is going to solve their problems.
It's not necessarily that I think it's going to solve my problems. I don't want to have a boss. I don't want to be under someone. I don't want to have.
You're always going to be under someone, no matter what. In life, you're going to be under someone.
But I don't want my financial status to be under that.
Government.
Financial
status.
I meant like employed by someone. I don't want to have to constantly be trading my time for money. And that's why I'm trading so much of my time for money currently. Because that's where you have to start. You have to start trading your time for capital. Capital is your total amount of money. And then you invest that into other things like businesses.
What are you investing your money into?
My business.
Think is gonna work?
My business.
Not that. Other people's businesses. Because you just said other businesses. Not your business.
Stocks and
Other
crypto.
business. Crypto just crashed.
I know. I lost half of my fucking net worth in crypto.
See what I mean?
Because I just didn't play that correctly. It's my first time. You have to lose a whole bunch of money to be able to learn how to handle it correctly. And I understand that at a young age. Every investor will tell you that.
Yeah, you have to pay to play. You have to pay your dues. But that does not mean waste a fuck ton of money on freaking crypto or something that you think is going to work out.
What else do I have to spend it on right now?
Save it.
Okay, listen. When your money is just sitting in a bank account, it is losing value through inflation.
Okay, I understand that, but also you just lost a fuck ton more money that you could have saved.
Yes, because I'm learning about crypto. I'm learning about stocks. This is my first time doing it all. I'm 15. I understand this micro, and I zoom out of the micro of I'm only 15. I have to get all this done. But I am learning about this for the first time.
Why are you rushing it?
Because
why are you rushing life?
I have...
30 years is not a long time. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I understand that.
Think about that. You are.
I'm halfway
rushing.
through that.
Yeah, you are rushing. This is the easiest time of your life, and you were trying to push it to where I can't wait to do something. You were trying to rush through your life. This is gonna be the easiest time of your life to go and have fun before you can't.
Because of this, like, I think about this constantly, and this is my first time ever publicly talking about it. I don't want to live like my parents at all. When I look at my parents, I don't want to live like them. I love my parents. I care about them. They support me so much. I don't want to live like them. I've seen the amount of debt my parents are in. I don't want to live like that. My dad didn't go to college. He's doing okay, but he's not doing as well as my mom. And my mom has to pay student debts. My mom's a teacher, so she has her stuff. But that's the main thing. I don't want to have to I don't want to retire at an old age. Like, I don't want to. There was a. Like.
You know you're going to make it that long. You don't know you're going to live that long.
Exactly.
You die tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons. Is like. The main thing is I don't want to die with dreams. I want to be able to die with memories that I did things. And that's why I have this mindset that I have, is that I have to do all this stuff early in my life so then I can play with the rest of my life. Because, I mean, when you sit there and think about it, we're really just programmed to think 40, 50, 60 is old. Like too old to do things. Because you spent so much of your life working in a labor and were stressed about things and you were unhappy with a lot of your life. Because you probably once had a dream and you gave up on it. And I don't want to be that old person that said, I didn't meet my goals and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. I want to be able to say that I did and that I lived a good life, because I've grown up hearing my parents, my grandparents on both sides talk about how sad they are that they didn't do some of the things and now they're too old to do it because they spent so much of their time working and stressed out about bullshit.
Here's what I'm thinking. You're not programmed to think 50 and 60-year-old. We're programmed to see that our body literally fails after a certain age. And you see that. And people are scared of that.
So people end up living in fear and living a sad life.
Yeah. And so they don't take any risks. But also, they're stupid about it. They don't prepare for anything. They don't have any sort of plans. Like, because some things just don't work out. And that's just how it works.
Yeah, I understand that.
Some things aren't meant to be. Some things don't happen. And if this is not what you're supposed to do, if this doesn't happen,
then I still have my normal plan, and I just learned an experience.
See, you just told me you have a normal plan. That's a backup
I said if. In my head.
No, you said, then I just do my normal plan. That's exactly what you just said.
I meant, like, that it's meant to be that way. In my head, I believe this is my way. That this is my plan, that I am meant to be doing this. I have a full belief that I am put on this earth to inspire and help people. I'm just going through this experience right now where I have to figure out the way to do it and the right place to do it. Whether I inspire someone to be better at photography or videography, or inspire someone to be sober or be different in a way, all I know is that I am not normal. And I don't want to fit into the normal category.
Why? Okay, there's no such thing as normal. Everyone is different. I don't understand what you mean by that.
This is something I feel like, how do I put this? Me and you can see that, and a lot of the people that are around us can see that. But there are some people that get so stuck on what they think is normal, and they get stuck in trying to find a normal. And I feel like that's something unique about our friend group, is that we have found each other, and we're all different in our own ways, and each person is different. Each person has a different experience. And that's what Sonder is the realization that we all have just as complex lives. It's just complex in different ways. And I thought of this the other day, that we don't have weaknesses, and we don't have weaknesses. We just have different strong suits. Like, we're just better at different things. And my belief with what my life is that I'm put here to inspire people, and I'm just
do what? Inspire them to do what?
Be better.
Be better at what?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Right now, currently, it is just to be better. And
to be better at what?
That's what I'm figuring out. That's what this journey.
You can't just say be better.
That's what my journey is. I'm trying to find what is. That's the chapter I'm in right now. And that's what I stress out about all the time, is on finding what it is that I'm inspiring people to do in the better category. What am I helping them get better at? And currently, it's looking at the positive sides of life. But I could be completely wrong. Like, I know I could be completely wrong on that aspect. But I know that if I just stay resentless to everything that's happening, and I keep going and I keep striving, something will work out. I know this is my path. I have so much belief in this path. And I know I'm so delusional about it. But from what I have showed myself, if you bet on yourself and you build a skill and you build something and bet on it, you can't lose.
Think about how many athletes have told themselves that, and then they go and lose.
What's your definition of losing? Like losing a game? Like a score?
Like, okay, I'm not saying you learn more from losing in life. You do. But also,
There's really no... Okay, this is going to sound so cringy. There's no really such thing as losing. There's no such thing as losing. Because you either get a quote-unquote win or you learn. And learning is winning. And that's why I say I simply can't lose. That's why I have that mindset that I have. Where I say I simply can't lose. It's because I know if what normal people will call losing.
who are normal people? You keep saying normal people. Why are you different? Why is anyone different? Or why are we all the same? Why are people normal? You don't
look into the micro of how our brains work and how they're programmed. Look at that micro. What do you know about that? Explain to me what you know.
What do you mean, brain? What do you mean?
Like the way our brains work, our tendencies, our habits.
Everyone has different habits. You can't say
But what are common habits that almost everyone has?
most people are lazy.
What am I not? Would you call me as lazy?
I'm not gonna say you're lazy, but you're not the most hardworking person ever.
Am I the most hard worker you know?
No,
Who's the hardest worker you know?
probably my dad.
Because he's working a manual labor job?
No, because he's been working for his whole life to provide for me so I can have a better life than he did. And you don't understand that though, because
I haven't been through that experience in your perspective.
yeah, you don't understand that people work their butts off so they can retire at 40. And it's like you're trying to take a shortcut to do that. And that's why I think you're trying to be lazy.
What's my shortcut?
It sounds like you just don't want to work. That's what it sounds like. That's what your argument sounds like.
I enjoy working, but I don't want to do it my entire life.
I'm not saying you have to do it.
I want to have
Most
other
people don't have to do
focuses.
it your entire life.
A
You don't.
great percentage of it.
Yeah, because that's part of life. Like everything, you have to work.
What
in life.
you just said. You have to work in life, and that's part of life. That's part of being quote unquote normal. Like it is.
There is no such thing as normal, though.
What?
Okay.
What do 95% of people do? They work.
The other 5% are homeless on the street because they didn't want to work and they're lazy as fuck.
I would say the other 4.99% are homeless. And then there's that top 0.1% that are insanely rich because they worked at such a young age.
Okay.
I don't get to see the fruits of my labor currently. I'm building a foundation. That's what I'm doing. I'm building a foundation to get things done.
Okay, but okay. So
This is the foundation to the start of my life.
If this doesn't work out, and I'm saying if, and you're like, there's gonna be no if, it's when. If this does not work out, and I am saying if, because I'm not delusional like you. You called yourself delusional.
Yeah.
I'm not calling you delusional. Then you wasted the best time of your life working for nothing.
I wouldn't say I wasted it.
That if nothing comes of this, then you wasted it.
I have already had things come from it. I've had experiences on what not to do. Like what I said earlier, sometimes you have to find what not to do and work backwards. I know I have experience in what not to do if this all fails. But in my head, it's that I can't fail. Because I can't put that in my mind. Because if I put the possibility of it failing, it will fail. So I can't put that possibility in my head. I mean, if this photography and videography and YouTube thing doesn't work, I can build another brand. I have other shots. If I fuck up at this point in my life, I have the rest of my life to do it.
But you just said that you don't want to be doing this for the rest of your life. You want to retire early.
Yeah,
And
but
now you're saying that you have the rest of your life. You are contradicting yourself.
Because the chances of this not working out are early on. And I know I have this time frame where I can make other things happen. But currently, I have to be caught up in that it can't fail and that it won't fail to put the possibility in my head that this can happen. I understand my strong suits. I understand my quote-unquote weaknesses. And one of those things is my communication and the way that I think. I know I have lack of forethought. I know I have lack of filter. Those are two very big things. But I don't want to focus on those two things I am not strong at. And that's why I spend quite a lot of my time almost running from it, working. When I work, my brain is stimulated in a different way that I feel...
You just tell me you were running from manual labor?
Yes, because I am so terrified of manual labor. I don't want to work a desk job. I don't want to have to go to a slope.
That is not manual labor.
I don't want to have...
desk job? That is what you would be doing. Photography, going out filming, coming home, sitting at a desk.
A lot of the time...
And editing it.
Once
8-hour film.
Once you build
12-hour editing.
Once you build your skills...
That is 20 hours of your day.
Once you build your skills to where you fully know what you're doing, that time sitting at your desk gets shortened. But like a desk job or manual labor, those are two things I really don't want to do. I have no interest in doing that. I want to be creative. I want to stimulate my brain in ways where I can create my own thing. And it's things that I find cool that I know other people will find cool. I want to make films. I don't want to be on this little scale that I have. And that's why I built a foundation to build up on. I don't want to just make YouTube videos and make clothing. I want to make art. Like I want to film and direct movies. I want to get into acting at some point. I want to have a clothing brand, like on a bigger scale, higher quality, not under a company. But currently where I'm at, I have to work in that to build it up more to escape that. And what a lot of people do, they get in like the rat race of working a manual labor job or a desk job or becoming a teacher, and they go to college and do like the quote unquote normal thing. And I know I keep referencing the normal thing. What 95% of people do. I know there's no such thing as normal, but let's replace the word normal with common.
Okay. Here's what I'm saying. A lot of people who go to college know what they want to do. That's why they go to college.
But then they switch their major 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, that's because they're lazy and don't want to work for it. Am I wrong? Most people, common thing is they're lazy as shit.
Yeah.
But they also have a dream, but they're not willing to work for their dream.
And I'm working for my dream.
Okay. But no matter how much work you in, there's still a possibility it doesn't work out.
But I know I have what it takes in me to be within that top 0.1% where it works. And they didn't do the common thing. I know I can do it. I know I can bet on myself to do it. I have this gut feeling. This gut feeling is never wrong. I have this gut feeling that all of it will work out, and I can't lie to myself. I can't lie to myself that I have the gut feeling that's going to work.
You know how many times you've told me about your gut feeling and then something changes?
Give me an example. Drop names.
I'm not dropping.
Tell the full story. We're going to get raw as shit, and that's what my brain is. Being completely honest, being fucking raw. Not having all the smoke screens and lying. Raw names, everything. Full story.
Okay. Let me check my dates. Okay? I gotta check some dates.
Your story can change after the gut feeling hits. But that initial gut feeling that something is going to happen doesn't change.
You just completely contradicted yourself.
The story can change after the gut feeling hits.
The gut feeling, you just said the gut feeling is never wrong.
The gut feeling is never wrong. What you're... Okay, give me an example and I'll explain it in a different way so you can understand it. Because I think the way I just understand it was weird. And I think it's only something I can understand.
Because you told me over a FaceTime call that you have a gut feeling that you think you might actually like this girl. I was like, Matthew, I think you should go for her. And you're like, yeah, I have that gut feeling. But you didn't want to do anything to it because she was my ex. Am I wrong?
Yeah, and then you told me to go for it.
And I said, and I told you, but you said you had your gut feeling.
Yeah.
You said you had a gut feeling that you could see a future with this girl. That is exactly what you told me. And I was like, then you do you go for it.
Yeah.
What happened?
That didn't end up working out because
Your future plan.
two stories didn't work out. My side of the story was different than her side of the story, and that's why it didn't work out.
But you had your gut feeling. You told me that your gut feeling is that you could spend the rest of your life with this girl. That is what you told me.
Yes, but the story
feeling.
this is what I mean.
That was your gut feeling.
Yes, that was my gut feeling.
That Matthew Krol said that he could spend the
But
rest
I
of his
changed the
life.
trajectory of my life in that time. I changed what I wanted to do with my life.
Your gut feeling didn't work out.
It worked out for a moment before I changed what I wanted to do. The story can change after the gut feeling hits because that gut feeling can trigger a realization that you don't want it.
So around this time, I had just kind of figured out what I completely wanted to do with Seek Positive and the clothing brand and the photography and videography side of that. So what this girl thought of me was a completely different version of myself than what I was working on every single day. And I made so much progression in that time that we just ended up growing apart.
You're contradicting yourself, though. Because you said my gut feeling is never wrong. Gut feeling was wrong about a girl.
That's a girl. That's bullshit.
Why is a girl different? Why is a girl different to your life?
What are the chances a girl can completely change what you want to do? Yeah, they can open a door, but where's that door going to take you? Yes, I did.
Did you love her?
Yes. There is still a part of me that loves her. I think about it every single day, and it fucking hurts.
We should not have talked about this.
That's me being mad at myself because I can't let go of that one little feeling that is still there. But what I mean by this is that your gut feeling isn't wrong that something can happen. But when you make decisions after your gut feeling hits and it kicks in and those things start happening and you realize where you're going and you change that.
That means your gut feeling was wrong.
How?
How?
Because that
Okay,
life.
I'm trying to explain.
That life that
I have a gut feeling, right? Just hypothetical. This is completely hypothetical. I have a gut feeling. I think about how my gut. A couple weeks later, my gut feeling is like, oh, never mind. That's like literally what you just said. You literally just said you can change after your gut feeling. Your gut feeling. You just said your gut feeling is never wrong, but you can change it after. So, how is you changing what you thought initially? Doesn't that mean that you thought initially is wrong? Am I wrong about that?
Break that down further.
Okay. Thinking. Okay, whatever. I'm going back to your relationship just because we were already on it.
Okay, that's a reference.
Okay. You, gut feeling, you love her. Or loved her. Right?
You can't put a D at the end.
You
There's still a
you
part.
okay, when you truly love someone, you're gonna love them forever.
Yeah.
Like a small part of you is. Okay. But you loved her wholeheartedly at that point, right? Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay. After she broke that trust and broke your heart, did you change your mind about wholeheartedly loving her?
Not directly after.
Yeah, but
When I realized that I have other things
do you
that are...
have regrets?
No.
You don't have...
No. I can truly say that. I don't have a single regret because I know these decisions that I made led me to where I am, and if I were to go back in that moment, I would not be where I am today, where I have the path and the trajectory of where I want to go. All of these decisions that I have previously made have led me to this moment.
Do you regret going to the beach?
No, because I had an experience on what not to do.
You don't regret being there?
No,
I would 100% regret being there.
I don't have a regret being there because I learned something.
Do you regret letting your heart get emotionally attached?
No, because that was another experience.
Okay, just because you experience something doesn't mean it's never gonna happen again. Like, just because you know what not to do doesn't mean it's not gonna happen again.
Yeah, but there's always gonna be...
You can get to the point where you're like, oh, I just love this person so much that we're gonna work out.
Yeah.
And then your gut feeling is gonna be wrong if you don't work out. You have a gut feeling. You told me you had a gut feeling that you and Stella were gonna work out. It didn't work out. And maybe it will in the future if it's meant to be or whatever, but your gut feeling did not work out. And that is all I am saying.
Yes.
That is all I am saying.
In that instance, I agree with what you're saying, that it did not work out. But after it didn't work out, I realized that I had so many other things. And where I see it didn't work out is where my other gut feelings kicked in. You know how many, like, so much of my life took place on where I am. Like, I had all these thoughts of where I wanted to be and all these things I wanted to do when I was in 5th grade, when I was a little kid. And
It's just dreams, though. Like, little kids don't understand that, though.
Yeah, and I'm making the dream happen.
I understand that. I completely understand what you're doing.
Let me just reference this. I had this gut feeling at 10, 11, however old you are in 5th grade, that I was going... At this point, it was physical objects because I didn't have any other dreams in physical objects because that's all I knew. Because that was all my reference points of all these YouTubers that were buying all these cars and houses and essentially wasting their money. I mean, some of them have ended up being sustainable from it, but all I knew was physical objects. And I had all these ideas of these physical objects. And the main ones were a pair of Yeezys, a camera, a computer, and cars that I still want. Because I have a genuine love for cars. You can hear me talk about cars for hours, but I'm not getting into that right now. I acquired all these objects, and I had that gut feeling that I was going to acquire them and I was going to use them. And then once I had them, my ideas changed with them. So your gut feeling can hit and those things can start happening, and then you can realize that it's not fully what you want. And where I realized that it was...
That means the gut feeling was initially wrong.
That doesn't necessarily mean it was wrong. Think about this. What does being wrong mean? What does wrong mean? Not right?
Not right. When you want something and you think that's what's right for you, you have a gut feeling that you think that's right for you, and it ends up not being right for you. That means you were wrong about what you thought. That means your gut feeling was wrong. That means you were wrong. That means your gut feeling is wrong.
If wrong just means not right, then all these things change because you realize it is not right. Things change because you realize what is right and what is quote unquote wrong. But that once just goes into decisions and how it leads you to where you're meant to be. And I know I've said this before and it's been quote unquote wrong on like reference gut feelings. This gut feeling that I have here is different. And I know I've said it's different. I've said that about girls. I've said that about different things.
Did you say your gut feeling was wrong? You told me also drop 2 is going to be so much different than drop 1. And it was different, but it flopped. Am I wrong? It kind of flopped.
Yeah, it definitely did flop, and I'm not going to front about that. It flopped because the pillars that I put up got knocked down.
Did you think it was going to flop?
No.
Did your gut feeling think that it was going to do a lot better than drop 1?
Yes, and then I had
So it was wrong.
Then I had a second gut feeling.
A second gut feeling? Where the shit did that come from?
I didn't talk about it because I was so fucked in the brain because my brain was bleeding.
Is your brain still fucked?
Yes! I'm going to be honest, my brain has never been correct. My brain has never been fully correct. But there has always been one thing that's correct, and that is betting on myself.
You just told me we just talked about betting on yourself and several different times.
Let me explain the second.
Was wrong.
Let me tell you my second gut feeling.
So how is the one thing that's always been correct, that gut feeling?
Because it leads me to other gut feelings. It leads me to other things that are going to be correct.
Okay,
you have to take
a bunch of these gut feelings.
Yes.
That you think.
I have so many gut feelings. This second gut feeling that I had was when I was stuck in my bed, thinking about what my life was, thinking about what drop 2 was, and I had the second gut feeling. I was like, shit, this is not gonna work because these. No, I was not on meds.
Anything?
The only thing I took was fucking Tylenol. That's not gonna change the way my brain thinks completely.
Okay. Matthew, but you're telling me right now that your gut feeling is never wrong. Okay, it's like, here's what I think, and here's what I'm relating it to. It's like when you cry wolf. You know the boy who cried wolf?
Yes.
That's kind of what your gut feeling is sounding like. It's like, oh, it's going to be different this time. Oh, it's going to be different this time. It's the same thing with girls. Oh, it's going to be different this time. It's never different. If your gut feeling is always wrong, something is always going to be wrong. And sometimes you have a gut feeling and, oh yeah, something's actually going to work out because it's meant to be, it's meant to happen.
This is meant to be, this is what is meant to happen. And
What if your gut feeling's wrong about this, though?
That can't be a possibility in my brain. That's the end of story. That can't be a possibility because then I put the idea in my head that it couldn't work out. And then I create all these scenarios in my head of how it's not going to work out.
So you're just overthinking everything, is what you basically just told me.
Yes, I am a chronic overthinker, and I'm completely okay to admit that. And that's why I started creating Seek Positive, is a reminder to myself to look at the positive things in life and try to help other people do it too. And this is a very loose idea on what Seek Positive is. All of what you see now, what I'm putting all my time into, is to try to find the complete meaning of myself and the complete meaning of what the 2 words Seek Positive mean. And it could all completely change, but I know I'm going to be successful, and I know all of it's going to work out in my favor because I'm betting on myself, and I'm betting on something that a lot of, what was the word we average reference to? I forgot about it. Common. Or what a lot of common people wouldn't do. The common person is not going to bet on themselves.
Yeah, but
because
the common person is also lazy, and I'm not saying you're lazy, but also the common person doesn't know how to work, doesn't know how to do anything. It's just.
I'm building my work ethic.
I'm not saying that you. I just told you. I'm not saying you don't know how to work. It's just
in a different aspect.
But there's always gonna be a time where you're gonna need to work. There's always gonna be time for manual labor.
When I say I want to retire, it just means that I'm not dedicating all of my time to working.
No, I understand that, and you're gonna still be able to do things for money, and it's not gonna be like a real job, but you're still gonna have like.
I'm gonna build up enough capital and have my investments in the correct places from trading my time.
Did you think crypto was gonna work? Did you think you were gonna get money off of crypto?
I haven't technically fully lost that money because it still has potential to go up.
Yeah, but
If I hold, I don't lose my money till I pull out. I haven't pulled out. It's all still in there.
okay, but if it goes down again, which
I'm still going to hold because, I mean, if I just leave it in there, there's not going to be much difference than pulling it out. I mean, if I'm just sitting in the market, even when it's down and worth absolutely nothing, there's still the potential of it to go up. Like, think about all these stock market crashes.
stock market is gonna crash again.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
all these things are going to crash again.
And everything it's gonna lose a lot of money. That's
Yeah.
why you can't invest everything into freaking one thing.
Yeah, so you spread your investments out into different things.
Yeah.
But I'm learning about that currently. And you have to go through
Okay,
these.
but I've never invested anything, and I already knew that. Am I wrong? Like,
I want to say, okay, think about this.
like I
Think
would
about
not,
think
I
about
would not
knowing
invest
something.
everything in crypto. I'd probably put $50 in crypto and leave it, and that's all I'd do.
But that just holding that NFT or the 2 NFTs that I own, that gets me in-person value because I invested in the correct thing. Just holding that stupid ass JPEG of an ape gives me an in-person value of being able to go to this gym in Miami where I get free access to, and it gets me access to in-person seminars where I get to learn about crypto investing by people who are on trajectories.
But their stock market just crashed.
Yeah, they're way better than me, and they pulled their investments out and they have it in capital and they're liquid and they're putting it into different things.
That's because they didn't invest everything into crypto.
But they once did and lost it all.
Yeah,
Every investor is going to lose everything. Every person is going to lose everything at one point.
that's not true.
They're going to lose all of something, whether it is money, happiness, people, sanity,
Okay. You're saying that
Faith,
everyone loses
hope.
something, but that's because they have nothing to actually believe in, and this is what I'm thinking. You have whatever we're on about. I don't even know where we're at in the
We've
conversation anymore.
got to so many different points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are gonna lose things, but also they can't lose sight of what they're supposed to be doing here.
And that's something I've never lost. Is sight. Like when I tore my ACL, when my brain was fucked off of a concussion, I never once had the thought that I'm not supposed to be doing this. I've never.
Hang on. I'm gonna quote you right now. And I've said the same things. Okay?
If this is about a girl, this is not about
This is not about a girl.
Okay.
Okay. When people say they are lost, that means they are completely lost. Right? That means they have no thought process, they have no hope, they have no hope or like they have no happiness, and they have no hope that things are going to work out, which means they lose sight of their end goal with what they want to happen, or not with what they want to happen, but what they're trying to make happen.
I guess in that inference, I've never been completely lost because I haven't.
But you've told me many times that you feel lost.
Yeah, but you can have, like what we've been talking about this entire time. You can have a feeling and not have it be completely right, and I'm free to admit that. But that is different than I feel like that's different than a gut feeling. There's something very different to me about gut feelings.
No, but you have told me. You said, same thing with the girl. We're going back to the girl because it's a reference.
Yeah.
Okay? I have a gut feeling about this girl. I feel like I could spend the rest of my life with her. She breaks up with you. I feel lost. That end goal is gone.
That end goal of being with her.
Yeah, the end goal of what you wanted to make happen is marry her or whatever, be with her forever, is gone. Your hope for that is gone.
Because it's not as big. I can never, at this point, I can never put a girl first. What is first is my work. And I told her that. I said word for word. I remember this. It was right here at this desk. I was editing a video. And I said, I will care about you, and I do care about you, and I will spend a lot of my time with you. But I cannot put you first. You are a very close second to what my work is.
Okay, then here's what I'm saying. You didn't.
And she respected that.
Well, you didn't find the right person then.
Yeah.
Because when you find the right person, it's gonna be she comes first for everything, and I'm saying this is the person you were gonna marry. This is gonna be the person who literally comes first, that you would literally die for. You would literally, if you had to, you'd dump all of your investment, dump all your money, leave everything, just so she could be safe, free, happy, or whatever. Because, and I'm not saying that's a smart thing, but that is what it means when you like actually love someone. She comes first, no matter what.
She was always very, very close, and she was always tied.
That you were no, you said she was second.
I said she was very, very close.
Second.
Yeah.
That means she still comes
and
after.
Yeah.
That means
I said I was.
Love her.
I said I was.
Completely. Or no, that's not what I mean. That she wasn't the one. You may have loved her. She wasn't the one. And you believe that she's not the one.
Now I do, through these experiences that I have learned.
Did you have a gut feeling about her though? Did you think?
I had a gut feeling that it could happen and that I could do it. Which is the same gut feeling I have here. But But listen. I'm betting on myself completely here. There is no other factor.
There's a lot of other factors.
But it ties to what I'm doing, and I can control what's happening to an extent. I can control my reactions to experiences. I can control my intentions.
You can control your reactions to a relationship, though.
Yes, that is true.
You could just be like, oh, fuck this. Or you could be like, okay, it didn't work out. I'm not going to dwell on it. Which, me and you both have dwelled on relationships in the past.
Yes. And that's something I got into a little bit today.
And then you hit 75 hard, and you got over your relationship. Am I right?
Yes.
And because of the gym, and you started working out, and you manifested something, and then you started and something started happening. But then you also said, I've got feeling this is going to work out about 75 hard. Brain concussion, injury. Weren't able to finish 75 hard.
That's where I wasn't supposed to be. I had that gut feeling, but it led me to where I meant to be. Meaning it was not wrong.
No, but also you were like, okay. I'm going to go film a documentary.
I'm still working on that. A lot of this is probably going to go on the documentary, if I'm being honest with you.
Alright, then. But still, you can't always trust your gut feelings. Sometimes you're wrong about something. Like, no matter what, sometimes you're wrong. And I'm not saying that this isn't going to work out. There's a high possibility it will. Or it could, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I believe in you. I'm not saying that I do not believe in you. But you just have to think that there's a possibility that it couldn't work out. And that is all I am saying.
I just don't like putting that negative connotation in my brain.
But also, it doesn't have to be negative. You just have to understand that a lot of different things happen. Like, okay. Here, I'm gonna use the whole world for this reference. We live in America, where we have freedoms to do everything. Those freedoms are changing. Am I wrong?
Yes. No, I meant no. I meant no. You are not wrong. These things are changing.
Oh, okay.
I was agreeing with you.
I understood what you.
Yeah. I had the thought of yes,
I understood
and you threw something out,
yeah.
and I still had the thought, and I didn't fully process what you just said.
We have so many belief systems in America that are gone.
Yeah, that are being shot.
We were a foundation built on God.
And yeah, sidetrack. I was about to talk about that. I don't like that think about the calendar. The calendar is built up off of God's belief on what a day is.
Yeah.
And how there's 30 days in a month, and how the sun revolves around the moon, and how...
And then some people say that there's no God.
Yeah, that bothers me. Yes, I'm okay with free will because a lot of things that I do are free will. Like freedom of speech, like what I'm doing right now. Like in some countries, I wouldn't be able to talk about this,
That is fact.
or a lot of the things that I talk about. So I'm grateful for that, but I'm grateful to what my belief is, and my belief is God. And I mean, I would not say I'm a perfect Christian at all.
I'm not either, but no one is. No one's a perfect human.
Yeah,
But also, you can't be like, here's what I'm saying though. You can't be like, oh, no one's perfect, so I don't have to be perfect. You have to be.
like yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but everyone does that. It's like, oh, no one's perfect, so I don't have to be perfect. When you know that you're doing something wrong, and I do it too. I'm not saying anything is wrong. When you know that you're doing something wrong, that is not right, that you know is wrong, like completely wrong, and you continue to do it, that's when that's when it's like
An issue.
an actual issue. But humans are so fucked up to the point where it's like, oh,
And our habits are so fucked up
Yeah,
from
but
the
it's-
lack of these things.
we just don't care.
Yeah. And that's something that I find myself like struggling with, and I feel like I take it to an extreme. Like if I have a little thing. Yeah. Like one of those things is my phone. Like if I'm on my phone for too long, I think like I am like fucking myself up right now. Like
Well, there's a truth to that though.
yeah, there is a truth to that. It's like if I spend more than an hour on TikTok or
Yeah.
like I have screen times on my phone for a reason, and I try to be very intentional with all the things I look at.
Just that conversation right there summarizes so much of what I believe I can do myself and how much belief I put into just creating things and being a creative person. And it's almost I've almost come to a realization where it's like I know nothing but this delusion that I've put myself in, but it's only a delusion if it doesn't work out. And I don't want to put the what if it doesn't work out into my head, because then that's an option. So I just want to put into my head that it will work out and that it'll all be okay. And I fully believe it will, because I feel like once you put a certain energy into the universe and believe in it enough, God and the universe will put it into your lap. That's not, it won't just get handed to you. You'll have to work for it a lot, and there's a lot of delayed gratification in this world. But I feel like it'll all work out. And I can't wait to reflect on this clip once it all comes back. I have started a challenge where I have to make $1,000 in a month, and at the end of the series I purchased something. I can't say yet. It's all planned out. Besides the way I'm making money, I'm just finding different ways and testing it out and seeing if they work and fact checking it for you guys. And that's the whole idea of the series, and it's so sick. Like, I've done it before. Like, I've made $1,000 in a month before without even like really realizing what I did. It just kind of happened. And that sounds so weird to say, but money is so, like, I want to say irrelevant, because I use money a lot and I'm always keeping up with my money. I'm always doing different things to try to make money. But money has been something that I'm not worried about. Like, I'm 15. I pay for my own clothes. I pay to run my business. That makes me more money. I pay for my phone. I pay for a lot of my food, and it's like I've just built it to where a lot of things are kind of automated. Like the normal kind of job I have is essentially automated. Like I only have to do a couple things and then I just get paid. This business, I make designs and then I get paid after that. The only really active work I do, I don't even really get paid for. It's just a passion project. My YouTube is just a passion project, but I believe it'll all work out someday. I don't want YouTube to be my main source of income. I want my business, Seek Positive, to be the main source of income. But YouTube is kind of like, I've fully solidified what I want to do with YouTube. Like, I've had a vision, I've had an idea for so long, but I've fully solidified what I want to do. YouTube is my passion project where I have fun and I make other people happy and I promote my business. And I think that I have enough talent, and I fully believe that I have enough talent to make it. And I feel like so many personalities on this platform we're meant to interact with for a reason. Like, they're put onto our recommended for a reason, because these algorithms know each other, know us better than we know ourselves, which is so weird to think about. I'll get into that later. But I feel like I can do so much with my creativity that YouTube is pretty sustainable for me. Even if I don't make even if I don't make money directly from YouTube, there's still brand deals, they're still promoting my business. There's still so much. Like, if I wasn't posting on YouTube, this would get almost no traffic. Like, so, I mean, in a roundabout way, I do make money from YouTube, but it's not directly from YouTube, it's not from AdSense, it's not from brand deals, which I do want to work with a few companies by the end of the year. I'm definitely attempting to work with Prime, because I've made a video every single day for 21, 22 days, something like that. At this point, I don't even know what it's at. I just look at the previous day and then say one more advanced and post the video. There's something about short form content to me that if I consume it or make it, I just kind of feel like shitty after. Besides, honestly, when I drink Prime, because that's such an easy video to make. Like, I hit the record button and I say, day whatever, I'm drinking a Prime till I get sponsored. Crack the thing and I drink it, and then it's done. But there's something about, like, actually putting in time to making a TikTok, to making an Instagram reel, that just makes me feel so shitty. I don't know what it is. I'll probably clip this and put it as an Instagram reel, because it's so easy to get traction on those platforms. But, like, if I sit there for too long and look at TikTok, I feel so stupid. Like, I feel like my brain is rotting. I don't really sit on Instagram reels. I don't really go on Instagram like that. Instagram is such a burnt out platform, I feel like. The fact that they changed it from a photo sharing platform to a more video style platform is really messing with my head. I don't even, like, I think I've uploaded like 3 YouTube shorts and then I gave up after that because I just couldn't do it. Yeah. I never really thought of trying to do that, because I understood that shorts did pretty well on YouTube, but I never thought of, like, putting them up there. And I know all these platforms, algorithms like it when you use their new things, and they'll promote you more once you do that. But I just don't want to do anything that goes against my brand and what I want to do. Like, I don't want to make short form content like that. Like, I'm working on a short film and a documentary, and I make 10 to 20 minute long vlogs. Okay, that's another thing I'm going to get into. I hate the word vlog. Like, I absolutely hate that word so much, but I don't know what else to call my videos. Like, I don't want to call it a piece of content. I don't want to call myself an influencer or a content creator. I just upload videos to the internet. Like, I don't understand these social media gurus. You're just teaching people how to make money online. Label yourself differently. Like, just say you upload videos to the internet, because that's all what we're doing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just jealous or whatever. I don't know. But I hate the title influencer. I hate the title content creator. I hate the title internet guru, social media guru. It's not hard to make money on the internet. It is so beyond easy. You just have to find someone with a lot of money that has a problem that needs solved, and figure out a solution to the problem, and they'll give you money. Like, people want to look cool, so they buy different clothes, and I get money from it because I design the clothes. People want cool photos and cool videos made. I film the videos, and then they pay me. It's so easy. People need more ads written or new Google ads put up. That's an issue for them. And you make money from doing that for them, because you ultimately give them more money. I don't think there's another 15-year-old that is this raw on their thoughts on this platform. Maybe I just haven't found them. I haven't seen one, though. I don't know if it exists. So that's my claim to fame with my fucking 40 followers on this channel and 500 on the new one. And not on the new one, on my main. I want to talk about that too. I don't even know what's happening with my growth on my main channel. Like, I don't check YouTube Studio like that often. Like, I'll upload my video and then like 3-4 days later I'll check how it's doing and just to see like what its rank is, my engagement, like my watch time on it, and it's like it's just a reference point to make the next video better and like change my pacing or do things different. To actually make an entertaining video, because that's the first thing. Make an entertaining video and make people smile. Like, that's thing one. I don't care about numbers like that. That's another reason why I don't like short form content, is because it's such fast but short gratification. Like, you can get 1,000 views, 2,000, 5,000 views in a day, and then it just sits after that. Like, it just doesn't do anything. The thing with YouTube is if you get one video to blow up, almost every other video on your channel blows up because people will go on a binge watching spree of your channel. Besides podcasts, like the only thing that doesn't fall into is podcasts, because I don't know many people that can sit there and listen to hour, 2 hour, 5 hour long podcasts on binge. I'll watch one and then go and do some work and do different things, and then like clean or cook and throw in a podcast and listen to it and take down notes or do whatever. The podcast is something very special to me, but it's not the first thing that comes to my mind when I'm making content or making a video. You hear that? It's automated in my brain to say I'm making content, but the more I listen to myself say it, the more I hate it. Like, I just make videos on the internet. That's about all I do. I'm nothing special. I'm a 15-year-old that uploads videos to the internet. I wouldn't call myself an influencer. I wouldn't call myself a content creator. The only thing I'm really influencing kids to do is buy more freaking Prime and seek positive. And I mean, I'm okay with doing that. Those are two things I'm completely okay doing. That's why I made decisions to excel in those things. But podcasts just aren't my first thought when I'm making a video. Like, if I'm going to go make a video, I'm going to go make something more entertaining. And I'm not saying I'm quitting the podcast. I love doing the podcast. It's just a place where I can, like, spew my brain out. Other than Twitter. My Twitter is something very special. Like, I will tweet just, like, certain thoughts out. Especially when I was at State a couple weeks ago. I'm dying. I'll get into that story in a minute. You can see how my brain flows in this podcast, and that's something that I think is very good for my own reflection, especially like the way that I'm looking. Like, I'm so like subconscious about the way that I look at my camera. Like, if someone's filming me, I will always dead stare into the lens. But if I'm filming a podcast, I will look so many different places, and I keep catching myself looking at so many different things. It's easier when I have two cameras because I can look here and then like look there or there or there. But I only have one camera right now, and that's part of my challenge of making $1,000 in a month. I'm renting out my camera and one of my drones because I have two of each. So, renting out my assets. State and prom story. I'll do State because it's more relevant in my brain. I went to State as a freshman. I was the only one from my school. I was the only freshman from my school that was there for a individual event. Every other freshman that was there only ran relays. There was one girl that was supposed to run hurdles, 100, I think 200, and then she had a relay. But she was only able to run her relay because of some things that happened. So I was the only one that was running an individual event. And I got 5th out of 8. And I was in a track that was 6 inches skinnier than my home track and every other track in my state. So it was awkward. Like, I'm surprised I didn't get disqualified for stepping out of my lane. I didn't step out of my lane, but I think that almost helped me because I had to, like, keep my arms in. I'll put the clip in. You can't really tell I'm ever really that disabled until I run or I try to like touch my mouth or like zip up a jacket, like I look pretty normal until you like really look at it. Or if I like try to do overhead press, I can't do it. There's so many workouts that I can't completely do right. Like I can't do curls correctly because I can't rotate this arm out all the way. I have to do like, I don't remember what these curls are called. They're not hammer. I don't remember what they're called. I do them seated, and I do like each arm like this. There's certain tricep workouts I can't do correctly, but that's besides the point. I had like a mini existential crisis when I was on the line, waiting. It was such a short period of time in between when the official said ready, or runners to your mark, ready, then set, and then go. Like in between set and go was probably about like 5-10 seconds. But I was having this like mini existential crisis where I was just thinking about how I'm a freshman from a D2 school who doesn't, like my school didn't have a hurdle coach. Like my friend James was our hurdle coach for like half of our season. We had a volunteer to coach us, like the 2 volunteers. They actually helped so much. I'm so appreciative of them. But I was thinking about how I'm a freshman from a D2 school who got stuck in his mom when he was born, who just fully got over his concussion from 4 months earlier, and how I wasn't supposed to be here, but I'm here, so I have to show out. And I did it, and I beat two seniors and a junior, I think, as a freshman. I'm so proud that I didn't get last. I don't know what it is. I just have this. I had this competition with myself, and I got so mad at myself when I couldn't beat my PR. Like my prelims time was honestly one of my slowest times. Like I was like 1.5, 2 seconds behind my PR, and that felt so terrible to me. Like I showed out and did as best as I could in my prelim, and I qualified, but I didn't do what I thought was like my personal best. Even though it was my personal best at that time, but it wasn't like my full potential, you know. And then I unleashed that full potential in my final. And my mom took a video of me when I was warming up. If I can find it, I'll put it in. And she was telling me about how she's never seen me so like dialed and hyped up. And there's a special relationship with me and my mom where like we're both very honest with each other, and we'll both tell each other when something's up. But she explained to me that she had never seen me like that before, and that there's something inside of me that's different, and just how she was proud of me. And there's very certain things that go on in my head when I think about like my family, because when I think about it, I did not grow up in a necessarily like normal family. Like my mom was always gone at work in the winter, and then took care of me in the summer, and then my dad was always gone in the summer working, and my mom would take care of me in the summer. So I didn't have the closest relationship with my dad, because he was always doing something to occupy himself in the winter as he was like taking care of us. So I wouldn't say I was neglected as a kid. I definitely wasn't. I had a lot of attention, but just me and my dad didn't do a lot of things to like bond. Like I was very much my dad's son up until I was like 2, 2.5, 3 when my brother was born, and my dad was like, okay, I have to take care of this one. And it kind of handed me to my mom, and they both definitely took turns taking care of me, and it's something special now that I'm 15 and I'm able to like reflect on it and then grow closer with my dad. I just had like a bigger connection with my mom, because growing up I was always doing some crazy stuff that got me hurt, and then I'd go to the hospital and my dad never took me to the hospital. Nope, he took me once and they didn't do anything to me. So this is the story of my worst injury that I told in the first episode of the podcast, where I tore and broke my wrist, broke part of my elbow, the two bones of my arm shifted up, and honestly my worst injury besides my concussion. My ACL is very close to this one, but I would say this one's second now after what's happened with my concussion, and then my ACL is third. But I remember just like I didn't cry until the night time, like when I was trying to sleep. It hurt so bad when I was trying to sleep. So my dad was like, whatever, I'll take you to the hospital. They don't see a break in my arm because it's the night of. Like, you don't usually see a break on an x-ray the night of. And they didn't think to do an MRI until like 4 months later. And they're like, oh, he has no cartilage in his wrist, and let's do an x-ray of the rest of his arm. Oh, there's a piece broken in his elbow. These two are shifted up. There's still a break in, I don't remember what the bone is called. It's not a metacarpal because the metacarpals are up here. It's all the stuff in your wrist. I've explained it before, but he took me to the hospital then, and that's the only time he's ever taken me to the hospital. Like, he's taking me to like doctor's appointments and like checkups and things, but that's the only time he has ever settled to take me to the hospital, like the ER. And I think that's something special, that I can just remember that one exact time. But that ties into what I'm doing with this video, trying to make $1,000 in a month. It ultimately leads me to like bonding with my dad. The only thing that me and my dad do together are take photos, and we both have a love for Florida, and Disney. Me and my dad both love Disney. We both love taking photos, but other than that, I'm not that close to my dad, and I want to make something happen with that. Enough of the sad shit. Let's tell the story of prom, because I think I missed some things in the video. So it all starts out like a week before prom. I'm at a soccer game. My friend's girlfriend tells me that she's taking me and Zane to prom because this girl is Zane's older brother's girlfriend. So she gets us tickets, and it works out. We go to prom. So the day of prom, I had everything set up. I had just bought a cage for my camera that looks like this. I had figured out a way to mount a microphone on top of the camera and then use a splitter cable to then use these wireless mics that I have. But I didn't even end up using the wireless mic part. I didn't technically need the cage. I ended up being okay, besides the fact that they took my camera. This is why I could not post the podcast that I filmed with a handful of people at prom. Well, necessarily after prom. I had already been on thin ice for posting the vlog that I filmed on my phone because they took the camera. So I wasn't about to post that podcast, and I had so much going on with track, sports, Seek Positive, everything that I frankly could have found time to film a podcast, but I didn't. So here we are now. That was one of the weirdest nights of my life. I think I ended up dancing with, it was in between 7 and 11 different girls, and I didn't even see half their faces. It was just a different dress every now and then. And I'm not one to do that. Like, usually it's just like one person and nothing else. But when you're a freshman that films videos, there's a lot of people that kind of dick ride you in a way, I guess you could say, that end up dancing with you at prom. And that's a very odd experience, to say the least, when they're 2 and 3 years older than you. That was odd. But it was a very fun night. Other than that, I just kind of hung out with Rock, because Zane's girlfriend came, and me and Rock both just didn't come with dates. Well, actually, Rock did come with a date, but she was dancing with a whole bunch of different people, so Rock just hung out with me. So, I love you, Rock, if you're watching this. I bet you are. In between prom and after prom, me, Rock, and Devin are all in a car together, going to after prom. We're still in our dress attire, and we think, well, let's stop and get some food. It's 10:30. Only thing open is McDonald's, and they're only open for 15 more minutes, 30 more minutes. They either close at 10:45 or 11. I don't remember which. We ended up not getting food, though, because all of this happened. We got hit in the McDonald's drive-thru. Like, we got backed into because the line was so long, because everyone was just going to McDonald's because it's the only thing that was open after prom. So this guy backs up and somehow doesn't see us. And I wasn't filming. I realized my camera was in my lap and it was filming, and I didn't realize it was filming. I didn't even realize I was on. I cut the clip and turned the camera off like a minute before we got hit. Like 45 seconds to a minute before we got hit. I almost said after. So we get hit, and then we have to wait for the cops, and we have to file stuff with insurance, and it's Rock's mom's car, and it was tough. We didn't even get our McDonald's. I think I was more mad about not getting our McDonald's than getting hit. But it all ended up working out because the store next to the place that after prom was held at was open, and we got Lunchables, and I don't remember what else. We bought so much food, and we ended up leaving half of it there. I think there was an unopened box of Triscuits. There was one Lunchable. I got fruit. I got like a shit ton of fruit. I don't remember what else. But I was kind of disappointed that I left something there. I left it upstairs when we left to go get breakfast at 4 in the morning. Which is then where more problems arose. I didn't really do much after prom. I played some games and filmed a podcast and laid there with Adam. But nothing really eventful happened there until we get to the breakfast, where one of our school secretary's sons comes up to me and tells me that quite a few people are like mad at me because I kept filming after they took the camera and they don't want to be in there. Those people talked to me themselves and told me to cut certain things out. I cut those things out, but my school still wasn't happy with me, so that's why I was not able to post a podcast until now. But I would like to say that hopefully the podcasts are back for good. I said this last time. I've said this like 3 other times, but I am about to live an absolutely crazy summer. And I know I will have stories from 4 days from now. And I'm taking a small trip in 4 days with one of the homies. You guys will see this soon. Alright. I love you guys. I'll catch you later. Remember to stay positive. Remember to subscribe if you haven't. Remember to subscribe to the main channel if you haven't either. I'm only 10 subscribers away from 500, so let's just run it up. Alright. Love you guys.